So in some upcoming videos, I said I'd talk about the upgrades that we're going to be doing or planning for the 2026 off-season with the K24 NC. Now, a lot of times when we think about talking about upgrades, we're talking about performance upgrades, whether that be going to a 6-speed transmission in our case, an intake manifold upgrade, even maybe the power steering pump going to an electric unit. But what isn't often talked about as far as a vehicle upgrade is safety equipment. Safety equipment is absolutely paramount. It's just not something that we always think about making the car faster. But when we do talk about safety equipment, it's often referring to things like your helmet, your containment seat, your harnesses, maybe a fire suppression system or window nets. And while those are all incredibly important, and there's a lot to be said about a driver feeling safe and secure in the performance that that can bring, one thing that isn't always talked about is safety from the perspective of incident avoidance. And that really comes down to awareness in the car. The more the driver is aware of their surroundings, specifically with other cars on track, especially in a time attack setting where you can be sharing the track with 800 horsepower cars who make speed in very different places than something like a 220 horsepower Miata. That awareness becomes ultra paramount because the more predictable you can be, the less likely there is for an incident to happen. And your predictability comes from knowing what cars are around you and where they're at on the track. So what we're actually talking about today is an incredibly cool product that we've added to the car. It's the WolfBox G900 Tri Pro digital mirror. So it's very important to have clear visibility around you at all times while you're on the track. Interestingly enough, some of the other safety items that people are typically putting in the car when you're prepping a car for even just track days or full-on competition is you're going to end up putting in either a roll bar or a roll cage. And depending on the complexity or the strength of that roll bar or roll cage that has gone into the car, you're likely going to significantly prohibit your visibility out the rear window. Now with the Miata, we've also added the carbon fiber hardtop, which comes with a naturally small rear window, so visibility is already restricted. Then we add the GT3 roll bar that further restricts that visibility, and on top of that, you put on the carbon fiber wing, and the uprights now have blocked any available view that you've got. So between the roll bar, the small window, and the rear wing, it's simple to say that visibility out the back of the car is very slim. And that puts a heavy reliance on the side mirrors. Now, funny enough, when you start looking at drag coefficients of the cars, one of the things that you'll notice is that the side mirrors make up a huge portion of the drag on the cars. They add overall frontal surface area. We've remedied some of that in portion by going to small APR profile carbon fiber side mirrors. And when you see a lot of caged cars doing wheel to wheel, you'll notice that one of their objectives is to remove the side mirrors altogether, and they'll put small circular mirrors attached to the roll bar. Now they still provide visibility side to side, but overall it's easy to see that the total visibility of the car is very, very limited. One thing that folks have done for years is go to a very, very wide convex mirror attached to the roll cage. Now that is not available. It's not an option for me or anybody else really that is looking to run just a roll bar and hasn't gone to a full cage. Additionally, it still doesn't necessarily solve the objects that impede your view out the back of the car. The roll cage and the rear wings are still there, and any spoilers or anything of that nature is still going to obstruct that view. The WolfBox solution is fantastic. It allows me to bolt up the WolfBox mirror directly to the OEM location on the windshield. You'll see in some solutions, they're just strapping it over top of the mirror, and that is an option with the WolfBox as well, but it's not gonna be an option that is suitable for a track car. The vibrations, the curbs, etc., would just simply vibrate too much. It'd end up being too much weight. So WolfBox gives us a solution to mount it directly to the windshield and completely replace the OEM mirror. Now, especially in the NC Miata, that is already an immediate upgrade. You'll see the profile size of the WolfBox mirror is already larger and wider than the OEM mirror. And even using this without the digital portion of the mirror, visibility is already increased over both shoulders. However, the real win comes from the fact that the view is completely unobstructed. Not only do you have an unobstructed view of the rear end of the car, but you've also got a wider angle. So I can see towards the blind spots much better, where cars typically might be hiding, whether it's in the exit of a corner or the entrance of a corner. As they tuck in towards the quarter panel, it becomes easy to lose them. Well, this gives me the option to see at those angles I normally wouldn't have available to me. So this, combined even with the smaller profile mirrors on the side, has nearly eliminated blind spots altogether. So the installation of the WolfBox in the NC race car is actually way simpler than it's probably going to be even in a regular commuter car. Because we've stripped out so much of the interior, we don't have a lot of the panels that need to be removed in order to tuck wires. It makes it easier to run the wiring, makes it easier to tuck them, but obviously it's not quite as hidden as it would look inside of a passenger vehicle where you can put the panels back over top of them. But it makes the install super quick. And the reality is exposed wires being routed around, that's something that you're gonna be dealing with a race car pretty consistently anyways. So what we ended up doing, in addition to hard mounting the rear view mirror using the WolfBox OEM mounting solution, we also wired the mirror directly into the fuse box so that the camera comes on and off with the car going into the accessory mode. This was something that was really important to me and absolutely just necessary as the car is stripped out. One of the things that we've removed is the cigarette lighter. And that's a solution that is available to folks with street cars. You can really simplify the install process by using that cigarette lighter as your power source. But for us, since that doesn't exist, we needed to go directly into the fuse box. It was a super simple process. We just identified a fuse that we had constant power, and then a fuse that only had power when the key was turned on. Once we identified the fuses that gave us constant power and accessory power, we were able to use their fuse tap kit that allowed us to plug into those slots and then place the original fuse into the fuse tap so that we don't lose functionality of anything on the car that was already there. So the benefits to the WolfBox G900 Tri Pro don't just stop at improved rear visibility. That was my primary objective for it, but there's a lot of other cool things that we can do with this as well. Because I've got 3 options for cameras all connected to the device at the same time, that means I've got a frontal view of the car, which could be cool for some added benefit for recording a different perspective, if you will, out of the front of the car during track days. We've got the perfect view of the rear bumper of the car as well, but that third camera gave me some options. So right now, I'm kind of going back and forth on whether or not I want to add the third camera to the splitter of the car and get a really cool angle of that and a sense of speed on track, or the solution that I've wired up right now, which is actually a pedal cam. So a pedal cam is something that I've been wanting to get installed for quite a while from a data review perspective. Being able to see the inputs are huge. When you talk about positioning of a data logging camera, something like the device we use, the over-the-shoulder shot is super important to be able to see what the driver's hands are doing. So not only are we seeing what the car is doing and what the data traces show, but we get to see what kind of inputs are being provided that's causing that car behavior. The same thing goes with the pedals. Smooth brake application, smooth application off the brakes, that sort of thing. We can identify whether or not we are inducing understeer or oversteer by the way that we're getting on and off of the brake pedals specifically. And so that is something that I've really wanted to be able to see. This solution gives me that option. By putting the third camera right underneath the steering column, I've got a perfect shot to what my feet are doing. You pull the SD card out of the camera, say post-track day, and load it up onto the computer, and you can view those. Now I've got the data and I can sync that up. But here's the really cool part. I can lock the files that are being recorded so that they can't be overwritten. It also gives me a timestamp for those files. So what that means is as I'm about to go out on track, I can hit the lock icon on the device, continue recording all of the different camera angles, And now I've got a timestamp that I can match up to my data logs from the AIM system when I'm reviewing data, and I know exactly when and where those inputs were provided. So I've got a safe way to make sure that I'm not deleting those as we go out in more and more track days. But what a cool solution this is going to be. We're going to be able to view the pedal inputs. We could maybe even swap to the splitter angle. I'm going to have more visibility around the car. When we're thinking about even wheel-to-wheel racing, this is a huge win. I talked about the need to be aware in time attack. In wheel-to-wheel racing, you need that visibility probably even more, because while you may not be as likely to get surprised potentially, you do have a constant presence. When you watch a GLTC stream, for example, you see how close these cars are running, what that proximity is like, and how easy it can be for somebody to tuck into a blind spot, especially when you're trying to be aware of your own line, your own position of the car on track, as well as the 3 or 4 other people who are looking to make a pass on you. It's hugely important to be aware of where they're at with quick glances. You don't have time to be studying their position on track. You need to be able to analyze that extremely quickly, and a digital mirror like the WolfBox is gonna give you that. Now, while I'm not gonna be messing with the camera settings or the litany of options that you have inside of the WolfBox while I'm out on track, those benefits do come in very, very handy in the paddock. One of the things that we have to consider from a visibility standpoint isn't just awareness of the cars out on track, but also when you're coming into a Gridlife event, you're often at an event that's got 25,000 or more spectators. And one of the amazing things about Gridlife is that those spectators have full access to the paddock in order to walk through, see the amazing builds, talk to the drivers, talk to the organizers and the event sponsors. And what can happen is you're coming off track, you're trying to get back into the paddock stall, probably cooling the car down as well, trying to stay off the brakes a little bit as to not cook them, and you've got people that are walking around. And now the added visibility, the lack of hindrance or obstruction out of the rear view, both as you are pulling into the paddock space and then backing into that space, is going to be significant. Additionally, with the hardwire setup, the camera can continue to record in parking mode if you turn parking mode on. And so that gives you the option to have a little bit of extra security at the track so long as it's not draining the battery. And that might be the biggest concern. However, it will go into a time-lapse mode as the car is turned off and only record at 1 frame per second. And if the battery voltage drops below 12, it'll turn off entirely. So this is not going to continue to drain your battery. So you've got increased visibility on track, which brings that better awareness, makes you a better driver, a better partner on track, and overall puts you into a safer environment and can give you the confidence to really push the car. It's also hugely helpful in moving through the paddock safely, and you've got the benefit of some added security as the car sits overnight if you're not able to tuck it into a trailer or something along those lines. So as you can tell, I'm really excited to use the WolfBox rearview mirror for the 2026 season. The G900 Tri Pro I think is going to be a perfect solution. It's accessible, it's easy for a grassroots user to put into their car, and this kind of technology doesn't have to be something that is saved for GT3 and GT4 cars, Pro-Am or professional organizations. This is something that we can all use to make our weekends better through added safety, added awareness, and visibility on track. And the more people we have using these on track, the smoother our weekends are gonna go, the less incidents we're gonna have, and more fast laps laid down. And overall, that kind of weekend means less money spent on repairs, more money spent on tires, and more going fast.